So, dear ones, as we begin, we invite you all to just take a few moments and no matter what is occurring for you right now, to really do your best to pull yourselves into this now moment experience. Trusting and knowing that whatever you need to do or have to do or think you need to do or want to do, it's all still going to be there after this hour. But as much of your energy and your focus and your awareness that you can pull into this gateway, into this now moment, all will receive the benefits of the upgrades, the raise in frequency that we are offering now. Now, if you are having difficulties staying in the now moment, that's all right, dear ones, and we'll give you more to work with on that. And it will not stop you from receiving the benefits, because as soon as you arrived here, whether you're listening to this live or at another date, you created a powerful intention to be part of the transformational gateway and to assist holding open the doorway for new consciousness frequencies to move in and be of support to this now moment. And we simply encourage that the more you are able to be in the now moment, not just now but always, the faster you receive those benefits, the faster that new consciousness can actively integrate into your lives. Because everything that you are calling for arrives in the now moment. The peace of mind arrives in the now moment. The conditions that you are calling for to assist all dear ones in struggle, suffering, disaster, strife, it all arrives in the now moment. Resources arrive in the now moment. Love arrives in the now moment. Community, sharing, care, connection, help, assistance, and even calm in the atmosphere all arrives in the now moment. And as tempting as it is when there is a big event with many moving parts, many causes and effects, many catalysts and outcomes, many storylines connected to it, The most powerful thing you can do, dear ones, is to not allow your minds to run wild on the storylines. And run wild in what we call psychological time, which is psychologically engaging in the past and in the future. Regrets, resentments, blame, and agitation around the past, fear, anxieties, worries, more future negative projections in the timeline of the future, but to come back into the now moment, which is the most powerful place of receivership. And to bring the focus out of the mind that generates that psychological framework, and to drop your focus into the middle of the chest, into the heart, and use the powerful creative center of the heart to do the work of rewriting the rhythms of creation into alignment with the heart blueprint. The heart blueprint that already knows you are all worthy, deserving. Of peace, of happiness, of joy, of abundance, of expansion, of safety, of love. And the heart knows how to create this in the way that works in the deepest harmony with you, with everybody, with everything, and with the consciousness of the earth itself. When you are creating through the heart, the earth always supports the heart blueprint creation, because it is always in balance. With the consciousness of everything on this planet and everything of this planet. And when, dear ones, you are facing events of a mind-blowing nature, the greatest place to come into that creation of love is to bring your focus into the heart, to surrender the desire to try and create a future from the mind, which will always recreate the suffering that is a core premise of the 3D mind's creation. You're gathering here to assist the alleviation of suffering, the end of pain. Personally and collectively. And because the mind only knows how to create what it knows, you must come into surrender into the heart to bring forth the new consciousness reality. Right now, there are huge amounts of energy that can be harvested from the old mind-generated reality and the situations and circumstances that it is creating, and to bring that energy into the heart. And so, dear ones, we ask you to take a leap to understand the power of non-resistance, in the sense that instead of resisting the energy of all that is creating this manifestation, that instead you receive this energy and bring it into the heart. The heart is like the most powerful creative center. If you were to imagine the most powerful supercomputer AI generator, this is just a drop in the ocean in the way that the heart can re-render the reality experience that you are both perceiving and projecting, creating and experiencing. And if there is experience in creation that you find troubling, now is not the time to try and fix it with the mind, but instead to receive the energy of all that is and bring it into the heart. Surrender, gather the energy. Right in this moment, as we are recording this, there is massive fires in the city of Los Angeles. And this has garnered huge awareness in the worldwide collective. Many storylines of destruction and devastation, of loss, but throughout the history of humanity, and even in many areas that are not seen so clearly by the world, these storylines continue. And so, what you see in the city of Los Angeles right now is archetypal for many great themes that have permeated the human collective consciousness. And this is an opportunity to harvest energy not only from the storylines that the world sees in Los Angeles, but all storylines where dear ones of the human collective face immeasurable loss, challenge, and all the causes and effects, catalysts and outcomes for those experiences. Each one of you listening to this is a powerful creator. You did not come to this call or listen to this recording if you were not coming into your awareness of yourselves as powerful creators with the capacity to have an immense energetic impact on the broader experiences of the collectives, not through the opinions and the determination of the little me mind, the singular egoic identity, but through the wisdom and the knowledge that is conscious to you or is now becoming conscious to you, that the heart is the greatest center for recreation of consciousness into a new and more uplifting framework for you and for all of humanity. But wherever you are right now, whatever aspects of these activating storylines are holding the most charge for you, whether it is the perception of the energy of the fire, the winds, the human struggle, or the themes and the storylines behind the concepts of the causes and the effects of what is going on. Begin to pull all of that energy into your heart, and we activate that infinity 8 running from the heart center, going up around through the thymus, just a little spot below the throat, You can just imagine an infinity 8 running up and down through that breastbone area, pulling in all of this energy, harvesting it from whatever force you feel has the most power now, bringing it into the heart, running it through the infinity 8. By running it through the infinity 8, you are assisting in purifying the imprint on that energy that creates it into the form that you see. So when you think of the fire, pulling the fire into the heart, running it through the infinity 8, this harvests the energy in the fire itself and dissolves the form, the shape of the fire. If you think of the winds, this harvests the energy in the wind itself, but dissolves the form, the shape of the wind, and its impact and effect. It may be challenging to see right now that there is so much consciousness in this form that is available to you now, so much consciousness in all of the storylines around this event. The perception of the causes, the projection of the effects, the perception of the catalysts, the perception of the outcomes. Pull it all in. And just begin to run it through that infinity 8. Soften the body and relax. Relax that line of resistance, the resistance that makes you want to push against what is happening instead of receiving the energy of the creation. Running it through the infinity 8, purifying it, purifying the form, and giving all of this powerful consciousness, this pure energy expression to the heart to recreate. And as we have shared, when you are pulling in this energy in all its forms, in all the themes, in all the storylines that you are seeing, you are doing this archetypally. For all storylines that resonate with these themes. Throughout the world, throughout the history and the future projections of humanity. Pull it all in. Almost like a fisherman pulling in a huge net of energy. This is the time to haul in and harvest. Perhaps these current events also speak to you about your own memories of loss. Pull those in as well, or your personal fears and future projections. Pull it all in. Every person out there experiencing this experience, every person in the world who is in this now moment, experiencing these disrupting events. Pull them all into your heart. It is beyond your mind's capacity to figure out how to fix or resolve or to heal or to make better. The experience of everyone and everything affected here. But it is not beyond the capacity of the heart. And if you know certain individuals who have been deeply affected, pull them into your heart, surrender, give them to your heart. If it is a collective group defined in some way that you understand to be experiencing more suffering, bring that collective group into your heart. If it is the consciousness of the animals and the trees, bring it all into your heart. If it is the consciousness of certain individuals that you see have power over the outcomes, even bring those into your hearts. And this may be a challenge when the mind sits in polarity, that there may be good guys and bad guys in these storylines. We say to you, it is because the mind generates the polarity of good guys and bad guys, villains and heroes. But the heart creates reality beyond this polarity and beyond the illusions of separation, the illusions of survival consciousness that say there isn't enough and that resources must be fought over. supported. Bring all of it into your heart. Be willing to be wrong in your opinions, to move into a reality beyond your most negative projections. And we are not saying that this is easy, because transcending the programming of the mind is mastery. But it is this that will bring you into a new creative experience beyond the suffering-based model that the mind has been creating. So bring your heroes into your hearts. Bring your villains into your hearts. And if the mind begins to resist or is struggling with anything that we are sharing, you don't even have to fight your mind. Just use love and acceptance. So whatever thoughts or resistances are arising, just say to yourself, I love and accept the part of me that is resisting this. I love and accept the part of me that doesn't want to bring so-and-so into my heart. I love and accept the part of me that is too afraid to bring the fire into my heart. I love and accept the part of me that doesn't believe the heart can be this powerful. And as we are here to guide you, we say, trust the process, can continue to do it, even with the mind resisting. And we invite you also, dear ones, to bring the concept of the collective nervous system into the heart, the collective aspect of the human biological apparatus that generates the fight or flight experience. that generates the illusions of lack and limitation. And this is the most contracted aspect of the human egoic framework. It is the greatest limiter of your capacity to live and experience creation and the true nature of who you really are. Infinite and powerful beings, unlimited creative consciousness. It generates major storylines of division, of suffering, of struggle, of war, of disaster, opposition and polarization. And particularly pulling in all of the energy of how this imprint projects out into the future potentialities generated by these events. And what we mean by that is if the suffering basis of the survival mind remains a predominant influence on the human collective, it will continue to perpetuate imbalance, lack of resources, hoarding, fighting, and non-resolution into the higher framework. But as that framework is dissolved and replaced by the creation of the heart, all future creation is generated in union, in harmony, in balance, in love. And brings the true and genuine happiness that humanity seeks. So continue to pull all of that energy into your heart. Anything and everything that is bubbling up for you, no matter how relevant or irrelevant it feels, keep pulling it into the heart. It is beyond the mind to see how such creation can occur. But the heart already knows. The heart has the blueprint for everybody. And everybody has the blueprint of the new creation in their hearts. Your job is not to fix, but to feed the heart with energy. And we are here to reinforce and remind you that you can take comfort in this surrender. And imagine all of the city of LA in your hearts, dear ones. The heart has a blueprint. And all the places in the world. It could even be your own home that needs this heart blueprint, this rewriting, this reorganizing, this recreation, this re-architecture, this redesigning, renewal, rebirth, coming from the heart. Relax into it as we energize the heart centers even more. Dear ones, this is your superpowers, yes. For those of you who are present physically in these places, you may take action, but we say take action from the heart. Be in the heart. For those of you who watch from afar and perhaps feel powerless to assist, the greatest power you can offer is to be in the heart and to continue to pull the energy of this experience into your heart, to radiate the state of the heart. Whether you are sitting at home, whether you are volunteering, whether you are in a personal rebuild yourself, be in the heart. Just focus there in the middle of your chest, in the heart. It has the blueprint. It has the pathway. It is the eye in the storm. And all you have to do is to continue to gather the energy of the storm itself and pull it into the eye that is the heart. Many dear ones have the question on their minds, but why is this happening? Why this manifestation? And we know that many of you, dear ones, have come into the wisdom and into the power of accessing the heart center. Very often first through loss, and then through the understanding of the deconstruction of the mind that even creates the concept of loss itself. Ultimately leading you to the power of surrender, to move into a new reality beyond the suffering creation of the mind. And in order to uplift the human collective into a new creation, there have been waves throughout the human collective to activate this process of surrender. There are dear ones out there who will say this creation is of broader nefarious energies. And we say, dear ones, that if you are seeing the nefarious nature, concepts of darkness and evil, then you are in your minds. To bring all of that projection back into the heart. Why it is tempting to look for villains, whether it is individuals, governments, bigger energies. It is part of the illusion of the mind that says, if I can identify the villain, I can in some way control the situation. And the mind is attracted to this control because it wants to keep in control of your creative experience, thus perpetuating the very suffering that it endlessly generates. And this is why we say the mastery is to have awareness of this and to continue to bring it all back into the heart. When you can powerfully transcend your own mind's capacity, especially under the influence of the nervous system and the survival mind, to go into polarization, then you are gaining the mastery to access the incredible power center that the heart is. Energy is speeding up in your planetary realm. This illuminates the storylines that the mind generates. Not just so you can try and fix or resolve these things with the mind, but so you can see the futility of the mind's creation and come back into the heart, into this state of surrender, and allow a greater creative force, which is your nature's pure consciousness, to operate through you, through the heart, to create a new personal and collective reality. And we understand that when the mind feels under the threat It can feel very unsafe to surrender into the heart. And we are here to say, do it anyway. When you find yourself overwhelmed with the storylines, how will this big mess get fixed or healed or changed? Remember, you don't have to do it with your minds. Bring it all into your heart. How will this fire and this wind stop? Bring it into your hearts. How will the people find shelter, rebuild, come back into a state of thriving? Bring it into your hearts. And come back into the now moment and receive everything your heart is creating. You are physical beings, and action is part of manifestation, of course, dear ones. But let the action you take come first from surrendering into the heart. Let the heart guide you into action, not the urgency of the mind, not the control of the mind. The heart will always guide you to take the action that is in alignment with its blueprint. And you will feel this action as inspiration. You will feel this action as a state of knowingness, now moment activity. And things will change from this action. Systems will change from this action. Life will change from this action. But this action will always be guided by the heart that knows that you and all are worthy of a life of love, of abundance, of joy, of creative freedom. And the earth supports you in this. The heart manifestation is always supported by the earth. So bring some focus now into your feet and awareness into the heart. And see the consciousness of everything that is of the earth coming into alignment with the heart blueprint. You can flick on this little switch, and this is also very powerful when you feel like resisting what you're seeing. And flick on this switch, come into the oneness with all the consciousness of creation as you're seated in your heart, grounded with the earth, and say, the whole world is on my side, working with me and for me as I am for everything. dear ones. Very good indeed. We adore you all so very much until we're meeting in this way or some other way. We love you very much, and for now we'll say goodbye, dear ones. Goodbye.